And welcome back to the Paul Dolden Details channel. This is a rather filthy and howling BMW 118i. I happen to know the owner. Please don't judge the owner. They're a very busy young professional and they're not at home to sort this lot out. This is, oh my God, this is just complete neglect. How dare they? Shocking. Yeah, look at the state of this. This is not staged. I didn't throw this in there. This is how the car came to me. We've got stainage going on, lots of debris, somewhere where you would not want to drop a pasty or a pound even. And the worst back seat I've ever seen. This is utterly horrific. We've got in-ground food and all sorts. And I don't know what that is in the boot, and I don't want to know. That looks dodgy. And a rather sticky sweet. This is from Ultimate Finish, and it's the big boy Sucker Pro, or Suck R Pro, like they've done with the name. 1600 watts of power and a 30-litre debris tank, or waste tank. And this is the chemical tank on the back, and this is a 4-litre reservoir for your carpet solution, or all-purpose cleaner, whatever you want to put in there, or even just plain water if you like. On the top of the machine you have 2 vents to expel the warm air from the motor, and you have 2 latches to release the top. Now this is important. This is the wet kit, and it's the bit that's sold separately. I don't know why it's sold separately, but it just is. I'll put links down below. And you get a crevice tool, a dovetail, you get some fancy brushes, drill brushes, and you get a 5-meter commercial grade hose. Very simple. That's not suck, that is spray. Spray and vacuum. Now this is the actual kit you get in the dry kit. So when you buy your machine, you'll get all this included in one big massive box, taller than me. 5-meter hose, and then you get all these goodies chucked in. Pet hair removal, crevice tool, brush, carpet attachment, and the thing at the back we'll come to in a moment. There's your bag, there's your standard crevice tool. This is the smallest crevice tool and brush attachment I've ever seen. The Borrower's vacuum cleaner kit. More about that later on in the video. And this is the Wonky Donkey crevice tool. Yeah, this is a flexible crevice tool, handy to get into tight areas. And the other thing, I tried it. I don't know what it's called, but it didn't really do a lot, to be honest with you. Both those items, including that brush attachment, didn't do a lot. This is the bag, fit it in over the top of a rebate, so this is in dry mode. And that is how big the tank is for when we go to wet mode. There we go. Attach this. This is for the dry mode, obviously, because you've got a bag in, and when you want to do wet mode, just take it out. Power it up, and at this point there's no audible sound whatsoever because that's controlled on this. This is the remote control. Up and down, 3 steps for speed. So you've got 3 steps in power, and that is a removable remote control. So take the spider's home off to start with. Remove the high quality mats. And those are what we're going to start with straight away because we want them to dry out. So we've got our drill brushes as included in the wet kit. If you haven't used drill brushes, please go and get some. They're fantastic. Be mindful where you get them from. Don't get the super cheap ones because they will literally just molt and fall apart like the worst Christmas tree you've ever seen. And I don't know what those remaining stains are. It could be jammy Dodgers. I'm not sure. I didn't want to lick it to find out. But somebody looks like they've spilled a coffee. So next, we're going to power wash these to start with. You're probably thinking, where's that machine? Where's the wet and dry vac? Don't worry. Hold your pints, it's coming. So we're going to blast out all the junk to start with. And then we're going to get rid of the waste with a half decent window squeegee, not one of these. Actually broke the handle on that, you cheapskate. Buy a decent one, Paul. And then we're going to apply some all-purpose cleaner, or you can apply a classic carpet solution. Don't overdo it with whatever solution you put on there, whether it be a carpet extraction liquid or all-purpose cleaner. You'll just end up in one big foamy mess and you'll be there all day. It's kind of like less is more. Not only will it freshen the mats up, it will make them a damn sight cleaner. And the idea of the drill brush is to get rid of all those stubborn bits. So to go to wet mode, you simply remove the bag. It's got a rebated groove around that part there. Then you simply place part in at the top part of the machine, which has a big filter underneath it, which has 4 thumb levers to take it off and clean it. Attach your wet hose with that. That's the pickup pipe for the spray. And here we go. Now we're not going to use the spray because obviously these are saturated anyway. We're just going to use it to draw the fluid. First impressions always count, and I was really surprised. Bearing in mind I'm the owner of a couple of machines, including a Henry wash, which I've had for many years, and this thing is powerful. The 1600 watts of power, yeah, it comes through. It's blooming got some go in this. And you can see by all the junk going up the dovetail, yeah. And the other good thing is, because it's plastic and it has a plastic base, you don't get the horrible tram lines that you do with a Henry. There you go, there's the base of it. It's got a little envelope part there, little window sucking up the fluid, and away you go. Yeah, I told you that was powerful. So once you've done all 4 of these, go and hang them on the washing line or put them somewhere safe. And we're going to convert the machine back to dry vac mode and get on with this mammoth task. This is the boot area. So I tend to use a crevice tool primarily for getting into the tight angles and places like this. I did try the brush attachments, the different ones, and this one seems to be the most effective. And that goes through most of the vacuum cleaners I've used before. I tend to use the rather bulletproof crevice tools. So we're going to get rid of most of this junk and get rid of as much of this as possible, and we're going to move on to the next stage. I don't know what that is. It could be from one of Mary Berry's disastrous cooking episodes. I'm not too sure, but I wasn't going to sniff it up my nose. It could be flour. I don't know. I think it's polyfiller because they've been doing some work on their house. There you go. So here we go. Drill brush time again. You're probably looking at this going, that's just going to create one big mess. No, it doesn't. It relieves the junk from the fibres in the carpet. It makes them sit on top, and you come along with your vacuum cleaner and boom, you suck it all up. And we're going to switch now to the flat one, and then you'll see the power of this machine. So far, pretty darn good. It works well as a wet vac and it works well as a dry. Oh my, that's a big one. Yes, that is the extension pipe for reaching further away areas like this, getting to nooks and crannies. If you're of short disposition, that's just wrong. If you're normal height and you're not like me, then you're probably going to need it. However, me bending over, I just get a bad back. Worth using. That is a hair clip and it's not mine. This is just some of the junk I found on the back seat. wedged in where the seatbelt housings are. Yeah, I think they're knickknacks. I just can't be sure. I wasn't going to try one. And I'm using a screwdriver because I had to get rid of this. And the tweezers of mine, I had to use those to get the loose change out. So this is the flexible crevice tool. It's got like a bit of a curve on the end. Well, where is it then, Paul? Well, I did use it. And it got bunged up with knickknacks quite quickly. So I then dug the knickknacks out, tried it again, and it got bunged up again. So I went back to the traditional crevice tool. So for me, it didn't really work. I've got to be honest, guys. I stuck to this. Wow, did you see that? £2 gone. So watch the next bit. This is one of the little niggles I had. That wasn't the first time I dropped the remote. It seems to spin round. It has like a paperclip thing on the back. So I ended up putting it on my belt. And I found out it was quite easy to use once it was on my belt, because then I could control the machine. And when I was setting up the camera again, I didn't have to get off my backside to turn it back on again. However, I did find one little thing. If you are out of shot, i.e. you can't see the machine, i.e. it's at the back of the car and you're at the front, you need to be in line. So the remote kind of works a bit like a TV remote. Don't worry, I haven't tried to get Channel 5 on it yet. So that was a little niggle. What they could have done was done the same as they've done with the wet kit and just had the buttons on there built in. Very strange. So while you're watching me get rid of the rest of this, if you haven't checked it out, the Spec and Paul Talk Detailing Podcast, check it out on Spotify, Google it for your favourite platform and go ahead and listen to us. Moving on to the borrower section. Yes, the smallest vacuum cleaner attachments known to man. Yes, these are for real, they aren't a joke. So you've got this part here, this is like the adapter which goes on the end of your standard fitting. And it has a twisty part on the end which reduces the airflow. Not sure why they've done that. So does it actually work? Is it a gimmick? Well, of course it's a gimmick, but it kind of works. But it works really well suited to piano black areas, delicate areas. For this part, you really need to use a normal crevice tool or get a detailing brush and brush the junk out. So around this part, yeah, it kind of did work in a way. Is it a gimmick? Probably. Have I seen them before? Yes, I have. Did it fail completely? No, until this bit. Yeah, that is literally like the Invisible Man doing it. Yeah, I decided to ditch these after a while and I just busted out the APC and got my detailing brush and went to town on it. It was really stubborn. There was all sorts of stuff mixed in with this. No doubt several trips to Costa Coffee or Starbucks or Greg's. Hurrah for Greg's. So ideally, this needs to be polished. All this black, piano black interior, but we're not here to do that today. We're just here to give this a damn good clean to make it look almost new again and to really test this machine out. So back to it. This little, I don't know what that is, I really don't. Get yourself some of these plastic razor blades. They're brilliant. And don't use them to try and have a shave or leave them in the bathroom for your wife to do her legs. They work fantastic. So back to the seats. I'm going to get rid of these stains and get rid of the junk out of the seats. I'm going to pre-spray these. This is Garage Therapy's interior cleaner. You can, however, use a dedicated carpet solution. Now be very wary of some of the cheap solutions on eBay. I've bought some in the past and they leave staining. They're not good. Get a proper cleaner. Same thing again, busting out the drill brush. You can use the flat one, otherwise you're just going to make one big mess and flick it all up in the interior. Get it into the fibres, and then we're going to start sucking the fluid out. Now you notice I don't hit the button. That's because I don't want to oversaturate the seats. Thanks to me setting the aperture on the camera and then the sun coming out for this overly exposed shot. I do apologise for that. So because of the width of the dovetail, this tends to come into its own on the rear seat, which you're going to see shortly. However, this is one of my favourite tools, the crevice spray tool. Handy this is. I've actually tried this out on an armchair indoors and it works really well. Not going to say who, somebody spilt a coffee on a seat and it worked. So you can get right into the crevices of the seat and alleviate the dampness from the seat. Nobody likes a damp bot when they get into a car. So I'm going to pre-spray the rear seat because it is so bad. You can use a pump spray if you want. And then I'm going to use the spray button on the dovetail to put more fluid in and to get rid of all the nasty stains. These are not good, these seats at all. Come on, Paul, speed up. My beer's getting cold. Here we go then. So hit the button and then the spray comes out. Now you're probably looking at that thinking, wow, that's a bit wonky. And so is that spray. No, that's my leg. This is actually the spray pattern. It's very wide. I've got to be honest, it's very wide. It's a little bit too wide. Now I did look at the spray nozzle. I tried to adjust it. There is no adjustment on it. This is how it is. Now it's good on big areas, but certain areas it's just too much. So I would suggest pre-spraying it and then just suck the fluid up. So by now I've turned it off and now I'm just extracting fluid. And that goes for most extraction machines I've used so far. However, this does pull a lot of junk. You can see it going up. It's really satisfying, this. So I split this in half and did the other half. Came in the other side. Slight bit of overlap here. And you'll see what I mean by the spray pattern when I go along here, because it does hit certain places where you don't really want it. Maybe a little bit of refinement on Big Boy's part. They could change this and have a different spray pattern. See what I mean? It's wide and it hits the back of the seat, the driver's seat. So what's this like actually pulling fluid? Well, there you go. This is the crud I got from the seats and the mats. It's pretty darn good. And here we have the before and afters. Now, while you're watching this, we are going to talk about the price. The price for this machine is £299, and that's a machine with dry kit. However, you are going to need the wet kit. And that's where it kind of gets a bit sticky, because that is £89 extra. So you're paying £299 and then a further £89 for the complete kit. My honest opinion is they should have thrown it all into one kit. but it is a very capable machine, and I was really happy on the day of filming, and I look forward to using it again. So I thank Ultimate Finish and Big Boy for sending this machine down. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more videos. If you haven't checked out all the other videos, keep watching, check them out, and I'll see you on the next video.